Hi, friends. Doc South here. And here's a story I think I tried to do about a week and a half ago, and it just got to be too long. And, it was getting up into the 15-minute range and longer. And I said, So I deleted it. And either by mistake or I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't see it in the playlist. So I'm going to try to tell this story a little quicker if I can. Interesting about this story is it's all about high speed racing at a dirt track down in Wilson, North Carolina. No, really, back when I was a rescue person in the city of Wilson, North Carolina. We often had to pull duty. Well, 24 hours a day we were available. And there's many a day where 24 hours a day wasn't enough to get everything done. There were some pretty wild times there in that town. But that town, it's if you consult your maps, it's about 30, 40 miles east of Raleigh. Okay, in the flatlands. Wonderful farming area, lots of tobacco, corn, all sorts of things grow there. You'd be surprised. And the city of Wilson, a pleasant city, much like I would say not much different than what like Morristown is here in North Jersey, like that. Good people, absolutely. Oh, there were some stinkers, of course, but for the most part, the people I ran with were really nice, especially the members of the rescue squad. Now, one day, it was probably a Saturday, I come, I get a call from the dispatcher. I'm at home and just getting ready for my day, and he says, "Hey Doc, you wanna tonight? We need another person to watch the stock car races. You know how where can we put you down for being on duty for that?" I said, "Well, heck yeah. What do I got to do? I don't get to drive one, do I?" He's, "Oh heavens no." He says, "You don't want to be doing that. You got to learn how to do that, pal." I said, "Yeah, I imagine it's not too easy." But I said, "Sure, I'll come out." So he's, "Okay, we're putting you down for one." Uh, it's good. Okay. And so I don't know, at the appointed time, say about 3 in the afternoon, I show up in uniform and off we hop in the ambulance and off we go. And I'm riding with my one of my rescue partners, Shelton. I said, "Shelton, what's the deal here? What are we doing?" He said, "Well, he says this is the opening night of the stock car racing down at the track. You've seen the speedway." I said, "Yeah, Wilson Speedway. That I thought it was just the fairgrounds." Now he says, "Well, it is, but it's also this time of year, starting in the early spring. We run there's stock car races, dirt track races every Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night. I might be wrong on the exact time. Consult your timetable." But he said, "Yeah, you come on out. They're getting ready to start the time trials, so we got to get out there, and just in case one of them drivers ups and winds up in a taking losing it on the fourth turn." I said, "Okay." "Well, and it's all dirt track?" He said, "Yeah, you wait and see. It's really pretty wild stuff. I don't expect you Yankees know much about this." I said, "Well, no, I've seen dirt track up north. I know Wilson's, not Wilson's, well, Wilson Speedway's where we're going. But I think over at Flemington, New Jersey, they had races, dirt track, I believe." And I said there were some places out in Pensy did the same thing. "No, that's great stuff." Oh, I said, "Man, I'm interested, very interested in this." And so he said, "Well, you're going to like your evening here. By the way, the food's free. If you're in uniform, you go down, get a chili dog. You get two or three of them if you want. They'll give them to you." I said, "Okay." So anyway, we get there, and lo and behold, they're the announcer, just as we pull in. "Yes, well, here's the boys from Wilson Speedway. Last week they got Jimmy Smithers out of a pretty bad wreck. I understand he's here tonight though. Even though he's in a cast, he's still going to try to race." I'm thinking, "Oh my God, the guy's got a fractured arm, and He's going to race? He says, yeah, you can't stop these guys. The only way you can stop him is kill him. He said, that's about it. He's maybe a flamethrower might slow him down a little. That's about all you got. I said, oh my God. And of course, we're watching. There's a few of them already out on the dirt track testing out their vehicles. They're racers. Oh my God! Then they go past you on the straightaway. Then they kind of go around the track, almost sideways, so that they can keep the speed up somehow. Again, don't ask me. I'm not that kind of driver, but I, my God, Shelton, these guys are going. They're about spinning out. He says if they ain't careful, they spin out, and that's where we come in, because a number of them will spin out tonight. They'll wind up going over the fence, and they'll go into the infield, and they'll crack into two or three others. And he says they either get hurt or they'll start a fist fight. I said, a fist fight? I said, none of these guys are armed, are they? Well, they probably got a gun in their car, but I doubt he said, I doubt they can bring one into the racer. I mean, they might have one in their, in their trailer. I said, if need be. But he says, no, generally everyone's pretty peaceful. They do get a little sore, though, and says you got to watch it. Sometimes fists fly when they're deciding who won the last race, or if one guy cuts off another, they'll have a bit of a fight in the where they're all parked. Can't quite think of the name of that right now. It'll come to me maybe. But he says, but other than that, you just let them fight. Let the police take care of it. They'll eventually grab a nightstick or something and just pull them both back and make them make up and tell them they can settle it out on the track a little later, which usually they do. Then there's another darn fight. I said, gosh, are there fights up in the stands? He says, oh, heck yeah. What happens there, he says, is people are betting money on the race. They're betting who they think's going to win. And sometimes when a fella wins and goes to collect off a friend, all of a sudden he can't find the friend because the friend's running down the steps to the arena there, to the stadium. And then he's got to go catch him. Then when he catches them, they're having a fight. Yeah, I know Shelton said to me, he says, you're going to see so much darn fighting here, you won't believe it. Now, again, this was 40 or 50 years ago. I'm sure folks are way more genteel. And and even then, the fights weren't anything much more than, tussling, a little wrestling and stuff. They weren't like they were ball batting each other. And just more of a heated argument, like shoving a guy in the shoulder and stuff. Nothing really bad. Nothing that after the race is probably going to a bar and having a beer and laughing about the day won't cure, right? So, but gosh, we're up there. Well, eventually, long story short, all the time trials and stuff stop, and the practice laps, and now it's race time. And what they do is they bring out about 20 of those cars, anywhere from say 5 to 20 of them, maybe more sometimes, and they just start them around the track going slow, and they got a guy with a flag waiting. And I guess it's a green flag. And when he sees that they're all lined up, ready to go, he just wah, 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 like that. And oh my gosh, this wild roar of cars, engines, and dust and everything just goes sailing around you. You think you're going to, oh God, you could choke. I looked down at the ambulance. The ambulance is already red with dust, and these things are just making a racket. Oh my God. Good thing they were a far distance from the hospital, and they're going into the back turn, the back straightaway. They're coming in around the third turn, the fourth turn. They're heading for for where they started, and that's one lap. Now they got 19 more to go, and they're and then all of a sudden, Shelton says, "Watch out! Watch that number 4. He's going to pull it." And next thing you know, number 4 is going to look like this, bang, into the wall. I know I shouldn't laugh, but he wasn't hurt. He just goes into the wall. His car flips upside down. They put a hold on the race. The car's now just got to stay in position while we go out and get this guy. And we're fishing him out of the car. How are you doing? I said, are you hurt anywhere? Yeah, hell no, I'm not hurt. You get your hands off me. Help me turn this car over. Doggone it. He says, I'm getting you can imagine the explicatives. All in Southern drawl, too. They're the worst kind. And oh my God, they push the guys. I guess the wrecker car comes out, puts the car back on the, puts the car back on its wheels. We asked the guy, do you want to go to the hospital? No. Are you allowed to, well, the judge said, put him back in the damn car and let's go. And he has to get in the very back of the line. Now he's really sore. As they go around and they come around, the flagman sees them coming, and off they go again. And when you know it, now this time maybe in the fourth turn, the guy creams the wall. This time I think you do it 2 or 3 times and you got to leave for the week. I'm not sure if that's true. Knowing those guys, they probably just paint their car over and they come out anyway. Who the heck cares? I mean, it's really wild racing. And eventually you get down to where where there once was 20, now there's about 9 cars in the race, and they're really opening up in the back straightaway, coming into the to the finish line. The flagman's got the flag, that signals the race is over, and whoosh, and they got the winner. That's just race number 1. Here comes heat number 2, and a number 3, and a number 4. Meanwhile, the cars that were I might be wrong on this, but the ones that came in first through fourth are going to be in the grand finale. And that's pretty much, eventually you get to where at the last race of the night, they have a whole bunch of them, and it's just total bedlam till it's like a 25 lap thing. People are going out of their minds. It is such, I assume it's the closest thing we've got to the arena. And I guess people have been hurt pretty bad there, and even killed. But for the most part, it is relatively good, clean fun, with a few fist fights and a beer or two afterwards to just calm your nerves. I know one time, you'll like this. A fella goes, he's coming around, heading for the finish line, and I think it was, he was really, really chomping on it, and he somehow lost it. He was at the head of the pack. He loses it, flips end over end. This one was really wild. Hits, bounces in the air all over the place, and he's spinning on his roof upside down with smoke coming out of the car. Well, we get down there as fast as we can, us and the fire company, and we've got fire extinguishers ready. The car's upside down, just spinning like that, and they said, I go running up to the driver's side, the window. There's no window; it's clear, just clear. I said, "How you doing in there?" He says, "Tell him to quit trying to flip my car over. Look where my hand is." And his hand was between the roll bar and the roof of the car, and his car's upside down, and they're lifting the car, putting it down, lifting, putting it down. Every time they do that, they're squishing his hand. I holler out to everybody. I said, "You guys, cut it out for a minute. Just lift the car, hold it, okay?" And I go, now all of a sudden the guy's daughter's there. She's screaming from the outside. He's hollering to her that he's okay. This fella's helping me. "Mary, you just calm down. You stay out of here now. Car could catch fire." Oh my God, that put her into a fit. And so when the guys got the car up, the roll bars separated from the roof, I pulled the guy's hand out. I said, "Now let's get out of here. Smell all that fuel?" He said, "I'm smelling it." He says, "No, I don't like it. Let's get out of here." I said, well, I hollered to the guys. I said, now keep your hand up. There's not much. I tried to brace it a little because he did have fractures. And I said, he's got a fractured hand. Be careful. Just pull him out by the feet, I guess. Okay, out you go. And I'm in there still. And they finally get him out. I go, I'm getting out of there yeah, like a bat, shall we say. And I come climbing out of that thing. And of course, now the fire department guys are really giving it the foam. And the fire wasn't that bad, as it turns out. It was some grease on the engine, I guess, for the most part. But they were being careful in case there was an electrical wire or something acting up. The girl says, "Oh my God, how's my dad? How's my daddy?" I said, well, he's got a fracture in his hand, his left hand. Oh, she says, that's good. It's just his left. I said, yeah, he drives right-handed. I said, yeah, I figured, but how's he going to shift? Well, you can do that. Don't worry. He'll drive with his knees if he has to, and then shift. I said, oh, good, okay. And I said, maybe you ought to ride with him in the ambulance. She says, yep. She says, I will. And calm him down a little bit. He's a little excited, but he's going to be all right. He didn't get hurt that bad. Okay, she says. And, it was funny, but a week later, the guy's back, ready to race. His car's all put back together. And the daughter came over between races. And she came over and she said, listen, she says, you were so nice to my daddy. She says, I wanted to give you something. I said, well, you don't have to give me anything. Simple thank you is enough. You said thank you 18 times. She said, I understand. But she says, here, I want you to have this. And she hands me a wallet. And I said, well, gee, I said, you don't have to give me any money, but what is this? This wallet's made out of, she says, yep. She says, I do these. She says, I make wallets out of duct tape. I said, well, that's so your money sticks to it and you don't have to. No, she says, everywhere where the money goes, it'll be just fine. It'll smooth in, smooth out, but it's a duct tape wallet. I spent the whole week putting that together for you to say thank you. And that was one heck of a wallet. Oh, I kept that for years. I think eventually, I think one hot day or something, it just gave up the ghost, and I had just nothing but duct tape all stuck to my pocket, my jeans pocket. But I had that darn thing proudly for 3-4 years before it really started to get. There's got to be something on the web that shows you how to make a wallet out of duct tape. That girl was very good at it, very good at it. Now that was just a day at the races. Every week it was like that. There was something, always something. But I never saw anyone get killed. I saw some people. Thank heaven. I did see there was a lot of people got drunk and fell out of the stands. We had a lot of that. And we did have the spin out flips where we had to go down. But generally the driver would be out of the car before we even got there. Even though it was, not even a quarter of a mile away. They knew to get out of Dodge when the car was flipping or after it settled. And you didn't have to ask them twice. Unless they thought they could start the car up again and go. But for the most part, no, we kind of put the kibosh on that. Anyway, I'll see you later. God bless. Yeah, go try it. I'll tell you, you want to have some fun. Go to a dirt track race. If there's any around, I don't know. But if there is, they're worth the price of admission. They are fun to watch. You'll see. And bring earplugs because they're very loud. And maybe a mask for the dirt. All the soot, not soot, but all the dust and commotion that rises in the air when they're doing that kind of thing. Because you'll be sneezing before the night's over if you don't. Okay. Anyway, see you later. God bless.